Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another Cup of Tech. My voice, my nasal passages, everything's clogged up, it's all a mess. I'm feeling really sick, that's why it's daylight outside and that's why I'm filming early, because I want to go to bed. But I'm having a cup of tea, hopefully that helps. Now, last week we spoke about the iPhone 5, it was announced, big news. So thank you so much for the guys who commented saying they were getting them, some not getting them, some not really interested. For those who don't know, it's coming out tomorrow. It'll be on shelves tomorrow, so you could start lining up tonight if you're watching this earlier, depends when you're watching it. And iOS 6, which is what will come with iPhone 5, is actually available now for the 4S users, iPad 3 people, and so on. You can all download it now, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So let's get back on with the show. The first bit of news I have for you guys tonight is not phone related or tablet related, it's fitness related. FitBit sent me an email with some new products that they've got coming. One's called the Zip and the other one's called the One Ultra, I think. Now these two little devices, if you've never heard of Fitbit before, it's like a little gadget that you put onto your belt or in your top, depending on where you want to put it, and it sort of keeps track of steps, distance traveled, it's like a pedometer. It does how many calories you've burned throughout the day, and so much more. And it's really quite interesting when you, if you've ever used one, when you start to realize how many steps you have taken, and then if you have friends who've got them as well, and they say, well, I did 2,000 steps today, and you only did 1,000 steps, whatever, it's kind of motivating. And I know people who have had them and actually really enjoyed wearing them because they had a target, you know, every day I want to do 10,000 steps. And that might sound like a lot, but I think that's actually meant to be the recommended average amount of steps that you should take per day. Now, I'm going to get one to review because I haven't really used one myself. I've seen them and things like that. But I want to get one. I want to know really what benefit will it have for me in knowing how little or how much I do move around and what impact it does have on my health. I'm going to get one for review. I'll bring it out to you guys and you can let me know what you think, but if you've got one, comment below and just let me know what you think of it, and if you're excited for these new ones, check them out on the website though, really cool. Oh, so hot. I also got informed that Sony's bringing out a new PlayStation. Now, wow, new PlayStation, thank you, I'm so excited, that's really cool. I have a PlayStation 3 which I've been waiting to get the new version, but no, it's actually just a lighter, slimmer version. Now I have the PS3 Slim, my brother has the larger PS3, which was the launch version, so the Slim is the lighter, smaller version, but this new one is even lighter and smaller again. I think it's 20% thinner, or slimmer, sorry, and 25% lighter. The lighter thing is nothing to brag about. I don't care if it weighs 20 kilos. It sits in my entertainment unit, I never carry it around. That is not a sales point. But otherwise, it's the exact same product that you're used to. They have upped the hard drive size on them in case you're storing stuff on there. I keep nothing on mine except for saved games. I used to store them on memory cards on the PlayStation 1 and 2. Anyway, so these new ones are out. If you don't have a PlayStation, great time to be getting one because they're much better. But if you already have one, you don't really need to do anything except continue playing. So yeah, interesting news. Oh, just before I finish up with that one, they have, one of the versions they released is a 12 gig version, which is super small. You start thinking, well, what the hell, 12 gig? But here's what they've done is they've taken on Xbox with their little 4 gig version, so you've sort of got like a little arcade machine, and it's so cheap. In Australia, it's going to be $2.99. Now, if you compare that to the price of a DVD, a Blu-ray player on the market now, it's actually going to get to be very good value. You start to wonder, why would you buy a brand new Blu-ray player when you can just get the PS3, which can play games, do music, so many different catch-up TV services on there. There's a lot evolving in PlayStation, and it starts to make you wonder why you would consider anything else besides that for your movies. So that was all I wanted to add. Thanks. HTC came out with their Windows Phones. Now this is something that I've actually been a little bit excited for. I'm actually really excited for Windows 8. I don't know why yet, but we just saw last week Nokia came out with theirs with not just Windows 8 on the phone, they've actually been innovative and they've added a lot more to it. Well, HTC have done the opposite. What they've done is they've found a beautiful case which they would like to use, added some decent hardware into them, and then just put Windows 8 on it. Oh, and Beats Audio, because you notice the difference. So looking at them, they released the 8X and the 8S. The 8X is their flagship model, which carries some pretty decent specs. It does have NFC built in, which the iPhone 5 doesn't have, and I'm sure they'll advertise the crap out of that. But it actually is kind of cool. One of the specs I loved on it was the front-facing camera. Now, while that's usually just a simple thing because people take the little self-portraits, it's a 2.1 megapixel camera on the front, which can do 1080p video. I haven't seen, I'm sure that's one of the only phones out there which can do 1080p on the front camera. Now that's really cool for, say for example I wanted to do a video blog, while I was traveling I could see what I'm looking at and still doing really high quality video. That's kind of neat. The 8S, which is the smaller HTC which they've brought out, it's really half the phone of the 8X. It's going to compete with the, I think it'll compete with the HTC One V, which is a small little phone I reviewed recently. I don't think it's an amazing phone, but you know what, for people on a budget who want to get a Windows Phone experience, that's going to be a very good option. I'm sure, I think Nokia did release a low-end version as well, but yeah, I guess it's kind of cool. Plenty of different colors as well, some really insane colors like neon. So yeah, check them out. One other thing I wanted to mention is the Google Maps. Now I love Google Maps. I use Google Maps all the time if I'm traveling, if I'm going somewhere. That's what it's for. But they've not released an update, but they released a video recently which reminded me about something I wanted to talk to you about, which is Google Maps going indoors, so going into buildings and things like that. Now the example I'm going to show you on screen is one which I just did now, which is of a Chinese restaurant in Borkham Hills. Now you can Google the name and then you can see it on a map, then you can see the street view version, and you can go inside the place and actually see what it looks like, check out the decor, even check out the bar if you can zoom in well enough and things like that. Now that really does change the game, because if I'm looking for places to eat, I can see the menu online, I can do things like that, but actually going into the restaurant and seeing almost a guided tour of the place is really cool, because you can kind of get a good idea of whether the decor is anything nice, and if you're taking someone special there, find out where the bathrooms are as well. Really cool. Oh, hey. Oh, you need to go to the bathroom? That's fine. I know where they are. Just head over that way, just to your right. And you'll pass a little statue, which I saw recently as well. But one of the great things I did like about it is the example that they showed on YouTube was more around a bookstore and a hat store as well, I think. Now, what I think will happen next is that, say for example, I'm interested in Borders, if Borders was still around and had bookstores, I would walk into this bookstore using Google Maps and I could see a book on a shelf. I could click on that book and then buy it. That would be cool. Or I could walk into a florist. Say for example, a florist went online. Hey, check out our store online. Boom, I go in there on Google Maps. I can see all their flower arrangements. I click on one, it tells me the price and I can order it. And I can get it delivered to somebody as well. I think that's where I would like to see Google Maps indoors going, because it would give me the in-store experience from my desk, as well as getting a visual representation of everything. I wouldn't have to be on a website to actually do anything. I wouldn't have to click on product images. I would just walk around their store, zoom onto things I like, click on them and buy them. That's cool. I think that's cool. Let me know what you think. Am I just coming up with something not useful, or is it just a gimmick? I don't know, let me know. I'm halfway through this tea, it's boiling hot, and I've finished my news. That's really all I've got. I don't have a great deal to say, and I should stop talking anyway because I sound really nasally, if that's a word. Thanks a lot guys for watching, and if you've made it this far, I really appreciate it because I sound so bad. I should have put subtitles in this video, I think, so you can really understand what I'm saying. Hopefully next week I'll be back to 100%. You won't even notice. Well, maybe you will. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye. It burns. There you go. That's another cup of tech.